My name is Amanda Parker. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood outside Tampa with my husband Thomas and our 6-year-old son Ryan. On weekends, I used to wake up to the delightful aroma of Thomas's freshly made pancakes wafting from our sunlit kitchen. There's always a small vase of seasonal flowers on our white kitchen counter. Right now, the gentle fragrance of pale pink sweet peas mingles with the morning air. Every morning, as I tie back my long brown hair and make my way downstairs, I hear Ryan's cheerful laughter. "Mom, Dad made blueberry pancakes today." His excitement never fails to bring a smile to my face. Thomas, ever the perfectionist, is meticulous about the temperature and timing when making pancakes, ensuring they turn out a perfect golden brown. This attention to detail has served him well in his career too. Weekend breakfasts are special times for our family. Ryan shares stories from school, Thomas talks about his successes at work, and sometimes we get excited about upcoming community events. Our table is always set with maple syrup, fresh fruits, and the comforting aroma of coffee fills the air. Thomas and I met 8 years ago at a friend's wedding. I was the florist in charge of the arrangements, and he was the groom's college friend. Our first conversation started when he asked thoughtful questions about the pale pink roses and baby's breath arrangements decorating the venue. I was surprised and charmed to see such a tall man showing interest in the intricate details of flower arrangements. I still vividly remember his sincere gaze and gentle smile from that day. Our first date was at a restaurant along Tampa Bay. As we listened to the peaceful sound of waves at dusk, we shared our dreams and goals. Thomas spoke passionately about building his career in real estate, and I found myself drawn to his enthusiasm. Throughout our 2-year courtship, Thomas consistently showed himself to be sincere and thoughtful. His work at Thompson & Rivers was highly valued for his diligent and reliable performance, leading to an early promotion to sales manager. On the day he proposed, he appeared with a bouquet of my favorite gardenias and made his heartfelt vows with simple sincerity. When we decided to marry, I was confident we could build a secure future together. 5 years into our marriage, I fulfilled my longtime dream of opening my flower shop, Bloom and Grace, in a prime location at the new shopping mall near the station. Thomas supported me completely, from securing funding to selecting the location. The Grace in the name represents both elegance and gratitude. Every morning, I felt blessed to work surrounded by fresh flowers. I remember being deeply moved by the warm support of our neighbors who came to celebrate the opening. Our son Ryan is our pride and joy. He's a first grader at Willowbrook Private Elementary School and particularly gifted in math. He attends an after-school learning center because he himself wanted to solve more challenging problems. His energetic and cheerful personality makes him popular among his classmates. At sports days, he always places well in the races, showing us his brightest smile each time. We cherish our family time on weekends. Whether it's having picnics at Clearwater Beach on beautiful spring days or watching movies at International Plaza and Bay Street Mall, we spend quality time together. Ryan loves action movies, and on special weekends, we enjoy IMAX screenings as a family. Despite his busy schedule, Thomas always tries to make time for family. Our home is in the quiet residential area of West Chase. In front of our 2-story White House, there's a small garden I tend to, filled with seasonal flowers. Roses, lavender, and marigolds create a colorful display that brings joy to passers-by. We have good relationships with our neighbors, sometimes having barbecues together on weekends. Summer garden parties have become our tradition. Ryan invites his friends for water play while the adults chat over Thomas's grilled specialties. Those smiling faces of my family were my greatest treasure. We usually shop at public supermarket, where I plan meals considering Thomas's preferences and Ryan's nutritional needs. Thomas enjoys Japanese cuisine, so we occasionally visit Japanese grocery stores. Sometimes we treat ourselves to dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, and watching Ryan's excited expression during these outings was a secret joy for us as parents. Seeing Thomas off to work each morning along Dale Mabry Highway has been part of my daily routine. He always looks sharp in his suits, which complement his tall frame perfectly. His signature style, a gray suit with a blue tie and polished black leather shoes, reflects his confidence as a young sales manager. Watching him leave for work, I always felt blessed to have such an ideal husband. As someone who's been fascinated by flowers since high school and earned my florist certification, my current life seemed like a dream come true. Having my own shop, surrounded by a loving family, integrated into the community, I believed these peaceful days would last forever. Our home, filled with Thomas's gentle smile and Ryan's innocent voice, was an irreplaceable happiness for me. That is, until that day. On a peaceful spring afternoon, sunlight filtered through the white curtains, spreading soft light throughout our living room. It was around 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Usually, we'd be out together as a family at this time, but today Thomas was away for an unexpected work commitment, something that had been happening more frequently lately. I was sitting on our beige sofa, checking online shop orders, while Ryan played his favorite math game on my smartphone beside me. The gentle tapping of his small fingers on the screen and his occasional soft giggles created a pleasant atmosphere in the quiet room. "Mom?" Suddenly, Ryan's voice rose with a hint of anxiety. "This app, it's moving by itself." I paused my work and turned toward my son. Ryan was staring at the screen with a confused expression. "The screen is scrolling on its own." "Look." When I looked, the app's screen was indeed moving up and down without anyone touching it, as if someone were controlling it remotely. A chill ran down my spine at that moment, though I tried to convince myself it was just a malfunction. "That happens sometimes, sweetheart. The phone might just be acting up." I tried to reassure him, but something felt unsettling in the back of my mind. Come to think of it, I'd been noticing more and more little things that seemed off lately. The changes in Thomas's behavior had become noticeable about a month ago. His usual 7 p.m. return time gradually stretched to 8 p.m., then 9 p.m. At first, I didn't question his explanation of starting a big new project. I knew his dedication to work. As his weekend work commitments increased, our family time steadily decreased. Sunday morning breakfasts together became rare, and the aroma of those pancakes had become a distant memory. "Dad, aren't we going to the movies today?" Even when Ryan would ask hopefully, Thomas would just shake his head apologetically. Watching my son's disappointed back as he walked away, I felt an indescribable loneliness spreading within me. Most concerning were the changes in Ryan's behavior. He started resisting going to the learning center he once enjoyed. He began complaining more frequently about headaches and stomach aches. His teacher contacted me saying, he seems to have lost his usual energy. We started waking up more often to his sudden screams in the night. It became routine to hold him while he was drenched in cold sweat from nightmares, rubbing his back soothingly. But when I asked, "What did you dream about?" Ryan would just look down and say, "I don't remember." Breakfast conversations became quieter too. Ryan seemed to avoid looking at Thomas's face. He would only respond with quiet "mm-hms" when his father spoke to him. Noticing this change, Thomas gradually stopped trying to engage with our son. Standing in the kitchen preparing dinner, I noticed how eerily quiet our living room had become compared to the laughter that once filled it. Only the sound of the TV played in the background while Ryan did his homework alone. The memory of him happily solving math problems with his father seemed like a distant past. Even at work in my flower shop, I found myself distracted with worry about my family. I would catch myself pausing while arranging bouquets, lost in thought. Though I maintained a smile while serving customers, my heart was constantly concerned about my son. And then there was that strange movement on my smartphone. It might seem like a minor incident, but combined with all the small irregularities that had been accumulating, it grew into a significant worry in my heart. While the spring sunlight streaming through our living room window remained bright and warm, the shadows falling between our family members seemed to be growing steadily darker. The strange behavior of my smartphone that Ryan discovered planted a deep seed of anxiety in my heart. That night, after Ryan had gone to bed, I kept replaying the incident in my mind. The way the screen moved without being touched had an eerie feeling, as if someone was watching us. Lying in bed at midnight, I repeatedly opened and closed screens on my phone. That's when I discovered an unfamiliar app in the settings, System Security Service. It appeared to be a security-related app, but I had no memory of installing it. The next morning, after Thomas left early for work, I made a decision. This might not be just a phone malfunction. Rather, it could be connected to the recent changes in our family. This thought grew stronger and stronger in my mind. When I researched online, I found numerous articles about unauthorized phone access and spyware. The screen's autonomous movement, the presence of an unknown app, and the recent inexplicable events, everything seemed connected. My hands were slightly shaking as I entered Tampa Police District 2. My fingers gripped my phone tightly, and my reflection in the screen looked pale. After explaining the situation at reception, I was immediately introduced to Detective Jessica Wilson from the Cybercrime Unit. "Amanda, could you tell me more about what's been happening?" Jessica addressed me with a warm voice. Her blonde hair was neatly arranged at shoulder length, and behind her intellectual black-rimmed glasses, her eyes were both kind and sharp. I began by explaining yesterday's incident, the mysterious screen movement my son discovered, the presence of the unknown app, and the unease I'd been feeling lately. As I spoke, all the anxiety I'd been bottling up inside came pouring out in words. "My husband, he's been different lately." My voice trembled as I described the changes in Thomas's return times, increased weekend work, and decreased family time. But most concerning was the change in my son Ryan. "My son doesn't want to go to the learning center anymore, and he's been having nightmares." Detective Jessica listened intently, taking notes of key points. When I finished, she suggested conducting a specialized investigation. "May I examine your smartphone in detail?" She connected my phone to special equipment and carefully analyzed the data displayed on the screen. I could see her expression gradually becoming more serious. Amanda. After a moment of silence, Detective Jessica began speaking carefully, choosing her words. Your smartphone has been installed with surveillance software known as spyware. This program is disguised as a legitimate security app, but it's actually a complete monitoring tool. My heart leaped at those words. Looking at the analysis results on the screen, Detective Jessica continued with specific explanations. This program has been recording all your call logs and tracking your location 24 hours a day. Your messaging apps are under surveillance, and furthermore. With each fact revealed, I felt something crumbling inside me. Particularly shocking was the evidence of unauthorized access to my banking apps. Someone has been accessing your account information and monitoring your transaction history. Additionally, there's evidence of monthly transfers of around $1,000 to a separate account. At that moment, various memories connected in my mind. I had noticed several times recently that my account balance seemed lower than expected. But I had simply assumed it was due to overlapping store expenses and household costs. This type of program isn't available in regular app stores. It needs to be purchased from specialized websites and installed directly. Also, physical access to the device is required for installation. As I listened to this explanation, I recalled occasions when Thomas had access to my phone, during my baths, while I was sleeping, when I was busy at the store. I had never been suspicious because I trusted him completely. After receiving the investigation results, Detective Jessica brought up a new topic. Could we speak with your son about the changes in his behavior? Particularly regarding the learning center. Though I hesitated briefly at this suggestion, I agreed. With a child specialist officer present, Ryan began speaking in a small voice. I saw Dad holding hands with the teacher. Ryan's words came out trembling and broken. On my way back from the learning center, across the park. I saw Dad with the teacher. Tears glistened in my son's eyes. Dad noticed me and came over. He said, "This is an adult secret." He said, "We can't tell Mom because it would make her sad." Since then, Ryan's suffering had begun. He didn't want to make his beloved mom sad, but he also knew his dad's behavior was wrong. Caught between these feelings, the 6-year-old boy spent sleepless nights plagued by nightmares. The teacher's class became scary too. Ryan continued, looking down. The way the teacher looked at me felt strange. And I couldn't focus on math problems anymore. After finishing his story, Ryan curled up small. I embraced him tightly, letting my held-back tears flow. "I'm so sorry, Ryan. I didn't notice. You were carrying this all by yourself." My son's small body trembled in my arms. From the investigation results and my son's testimony, the full picture became clear. For 2 years, Thomas had been involved with a young instructor, gradually diverting funds from my account to prepare for a new life. And most unforgivably, he had burdened our young son with a heavy secret, causing him severe emotional distress. In the twilight meeting room, Detective Jessica gave her final explanation. Based on this evidence, we can consider legal action. Outside the window, street lights were beginning to illuminate one by one. It felt like a long night awaited us as parent and child. but I chose to believe that a new morning would come after we passed through this darkness. That night, following the police station visit, Ryan and I stayed at my parents' house. It was Jessica's advice to ensure our immediate safety. That evening, my son showed a peaceful sleeping face for the first time in a while. The next day, events began moving rapidly. Based on the collected evidence, police formally began investigating both Thomas and Natalie. The spyware discovered on my phone, records of unauthorized financial transfers, surveillance camera footage, and Ryan's testimony all served as crucial evidence. Thomas was arrested at home. Surprisingly, he admitted to all charges. The truth revealed during questioning far exceeded my imagination. Having minored in computer engineering in college, he had knowledge of spyware. He purchased a $299 spy app from the dark web and installed it during the 10 minutes I was in the bath. He had continued daily surveillance and fund transfers. Why? I posed this one question to him through my lawyer. I wanted to start a new life. His answer was utterly selfish. The stress of being promoted to sales manager at 35, pressure from our luxury home mortgage, and above all, being captivated by attention from a 26-year-old woman. His perfectionist nature had manifested in a twisted form of leading a double life. A week later, Natalie was also arrested. The Learning Center acknowledged serious management oversights and promised comprehensive reforms, beginning measures to address the impact on other students. Meanwhile, our new life was beginning to take shape. Ryan now has weekly sessions with Martha, a child psychologist. Though initially nervous, he now says, "Playing with Ms. Martha is fun." Through play therapy, he seems to be gradually healing his emotional wounds. Support from our community has been tremendous. PTA members take turns helping with transportation, and neighbors offer kind words. America's open and practical support system has saved us many times. At my flower shop, Bloom and Grace, we've started a new initiative. The Healing Bouquet series, designed to soothe troubled hearts, has received an unexpectedly strong response from those who have experienced divorce or separation. In court, Thomas received a prison sentence. Unauthorized access, embezzlement, psychological abuse of a child. Natalie was also punished as an accomplice. The divorce mediation proceeded smoothly, with custody and property division issues resolved relatively easily. 3 months have passed. Spring sunlight gently illuminates the living room of our new apartment. On the wall hang photos from Ryan's new school. After school, he happily studies math at his new learning center, and when he comes home, he shares the day's events with his usual smile. "Mom, I got 100 on my math test today." Seeing that smile, I can feel we're definitely moving forward in our new life. Sometimes loneliness and anxiety wash over us. But more than that, we have hope. In the small vase by the window are fresh daisies picked today. The pure white petals sparkle in the afternoon light. The flower's meaning is new beginning. Like this flower, I believe our new life, mine and Ryan's, will surely bloom fresh and clean. A year has passed since that incident. Bloom and Grace continues to grow as a warm, community-rooted flower shop. The Healing Bouquet has become our signature product, serving as emotional support for others who have gone through similar experiences. Ryan has advanced to second grade and has completely adapted to his new environment. Though he continues counseling, Martha says he's showing remarkable resilience. His wounds seem to be healing steadily. Thomas and Natalie are each serving their sentences. Occasionally, letters arrive from Thomas for Ryan, but our son says he's not ready to read them yet. I've chosen to respect that decision. Life sometimes takes unexpected turns. But continuing to move forward through it all, that might be the most important lesson I've learned from this experience. Now, from the windows of our new home, we can see beautiful sunrises every morning. They shine brilliantly and warmly, as if illuminating our future.